Welcome to A Woman's Brew, where women talk about beer. Today, we're learning about Thornbridge's union system and how it helps them create the perfect union of flavours. I'm Joanne, and this is Tori.
Hello, hello.
And we're two beer-loving women on a mission to get more people drinking and talking about great beer. Come join us. I have notes.
Well, before we really get into it, the most exciting thing of the day is I've got the podcast bottle opener, and Jo also
got a Woman's Brew.
And right before we hit record, we were like, yes! That was really exciting. I don't know why. It was just the best way to start, I think.
Yeah.
And also, I've got my awesome new Queer Brewing shirt. It's finally cool enough for me to wear a long sleeve.
Oh, I still can't be wearing a long sleeve.
You got to watch the video for this because it's like it's like a demon crushing a beer can, and it's pink and black, and I love it. And it was just it was a real vibe today. So.
I just want to go back to the bottle openers for anyone that that was a bit of an if you know moment. So because we don't gatekeep here at Women's Brew, my husband liked to buy me a bottle opener every year for Christmas, and so one of the first years that we were doing a Women's Brew, he bought us a pair. He wanted us both to have one that said A Women's Brew the podcast, but they sent him two, and one said A Woman's Brew, and the other said
the podcast.
And I was like, Tori's getting
you
the
showed it to me. Well, no, I think you said to me he's ordered these bottle openers, and this is what the situation is. And I think I immediately was like, I want the podcast. I think that would be so funny. And you were like, all right, you can have the podcast. So I think I volunteered it. Like I was like, no, I love that. I want it.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh, he's gonna send them back, and you were like, no.
I was like, no. I was like, absolutely not. I want the podcast. Because I thought it would be really funny if people came round and they were like, do you have a bottle opener? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And I just gave them this, and they were like, the podcast, and I was like, yeah. And like no context
like that.
Yeah. I just thought it'd be really funny to give no context and go, yeah, what? and I want them to ask me, why does it say the podcast? And they'd be like, why not? And just go from there. But it was sat on my desk, and so I was like, oh, I'll have this bottle opener. And Jo went, oh, I need to get my bottle opener. And I went, I've got the podcast. And she went, I've got a Women's Brew.
I've got my Women's Brew one. So there we go.
So it was exciting. Anyways, none of this has to do. Although I ordered Turn the Friggin' Frogs Gay.
You did?
I got it. I got the closet, put their birthday beers up, and I was like, I am buying them. Actually, Tom sent it to me. The episode's out now by the time this has come out, so now you'll know what I'm talking about. He sent it to me going, it's back! And I was like, yes! So I ordered it because I wanted all of them, but Turn the Friggin' Frogs Gay was the one I wanted literally the most. So I got cool stickers that came with that order. And yeah, I just want to show you before we get into like what this episode's actually about, because it made me really excited. So this one's my favourite one, and it says beer has no gender. You have to watch.
I love it.
It reminds me of our logo. Yeah. I love it. But I love it. It says beer has no gender. And the only thing that stopped me from putting it on laptops or anything else is because I'm like, I want it on everything.
Yeah.
But I only have one of these stickers, so I can't put it on everything. So I want to I'm waiting for the thing that's going to have the most longevity, because I was like, what will be really sad is if I put it on my laptop and then like something happens to my laptop. It's an old laptop, so I'll have to replace it like immediately, and I don't want to do that. So there's that one, and then just like a normal closet brewing one. Nice. And then drink good beer with good people, so that one makes me happy because it's like lovely. The wardrobe with the rainbows on it. And then this one, which I love this one because I love the colours on this one, Closet Brewing Loves Dykes.
I love it.
But my favourite 100%.
And the lesbian flag colours.
Yeah, I love it. It's like, it's great. It matches my colour palette, which is like the best as well. So but I love the beer has no gender. That is genuinely
okay, I need to do an order.
Absolute favourite one with the trans colours, and it's just like, it's just chef's kiss. I I need more of those stickers. So, but I'm very excited about that order. But that was me getting all the exciting things out of the way, because we haven't had a proper like two of us just chatting session. Yeah. We haven't had any like questions jars or anything like that, or we just chat. So
we've been doing like proper stuff.
And I think by the time we have another one of those, it will be like, stickers are old news now.
Yeah,
they're not. True. They're never old news.
No, they're never. Stickers are the best.
But I won't be wearing my awesome top. So that's me. That's everything I've got to say.
So what this episode is actually about, we are going to talk you through the Burton Union system. This is proper nerdy, guys. So you may have seen in 2024 that Carlsberg Marston's were going to decommission the Burton Union system. I will talk you through in a moment what the Burton Union system is, why everyone got so excited about it and up in arms that they were closing it down, and why it's super exciting that Thornbridge managed to take part of the system to have themselves, and Epochal up in Scotland took a little bit as well. Yes, we're going to talk about that.
I didn't know about that.
Yes.
Ooh. And then I'm going to give you some obviously amazing, very real facts that I can't wait to share.
All of mine is factual, and I have articles to back mine up.
Mine is factual. I've got ChatGPT to back it up.
Okay, good.
Why is that not factual?
Okay, fine. But shall we? We've got 2 beers today. Yes. So there are beers that Thornbridge have done on their union system, and this is the Union IPA. So let's start with that, shall we? I think we should start with a beer before we get into anything.
Oh, I'm excited. I think we can share when we put out the note in the notes section. We can share the part from their website that has like the video of the union system and like all the details about it.
Their blog post.
I watched it. It was really interesting.
Yeah, their blog post is super interesting. And there's really good links to other stuff that I'm going to talk about. Right, so that's the thing, right? It is beautiful colour.
This is the most beautiful thing. This is the most beautiful beer that I think I've poured in quite a while. It's poured so perfectly compared to...
It smells like proper pub beer,
like beauty.
Mm-hmm.
It does smell like proper pub beer. Yeah. Not quite like full on Marisotta.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
I will say, I think the best thing was after that video, I had Greg from Disruption like immediately under it just like crying, laughing emojis, Marisotta mic drop, and I was like, yeah, it was a bit like that.
It literally was. That is what happened.
It's a bit Marisotta, but I wouldn't say it's like the most in this one. So,
oh my god, it smells so good.
It's giving me like. It also gives me a. This is going to sound really weird, but like American beer vibes. Like it's the smell of like when I've gone back to visit in the US.
Yeah,
and gone to like I don't know somewhere like Allagash, which I know we're going to be talking about like in another episode. So it's like something like that. Yeah. It's that, I think it's that like fresh smell.
Yeah.
But it's that, it's a clean, fresh smell that you get with some of like the IPAs you get in the US, which is, I don't know.
Do you want to hear what the website says about it? We haven't actually tasted it yet. Do you want to taste it first?
Yeah.
Okay. Cheers.
Oh, it says it used Marisotta. So cheers.
Oh,
caramelly.
That's like pintable, right?
But it's like it is quite a full flavour. Mm-hmm. Like it feels quite like more full, more. I don't know, just this like lovely caramel, like just not what you expect from the smell. I don't think. I think from the smell, I expect it to be more lighter, and then I taste it. I'm like, oh, there's more, not like thick, but like just a full flavour.
Like I take a sip and I just imagine myself sat in a really like properly classic pub with a pint of this, chatting away to people,
and that bitterness. It's got like this lingering bitterness. Oh, it's really not. I don't think it's as, I'm trying to think of like the right words to use, because it is very like drinkable, but it's one that I think that I would sit and drink slowly, as opposed to like when you have something that's a bit lighter in body and flavour, like you drink it almost quicker, whereas I feel like this is not one that I drink quick, but I drink easily. It doesn't have like alcohol burn to it or anything like that, but because the flavour is so full on, it's one that you sit, you enjoy, and like you said, like you sit there, you read a book, and you're drinking it while you read a book. Yes, savouring's the right word.
Yeah. All right, so this is what the Thornbridge website says about the Union, the beer. The Union is a classic British-style IPA created using the very best ingredients we can get our hands on and then fermenting it in our Union set. For our base malt, we have used Marisota from Norfolk, where the sandy soil and maritime climate is perfect for growing the variety. We've also added a touch of Simpson's Best Crystal Malt to add a touch of colour and rounded sweetness, and some of the special, brackets, and expensive Brewer's Invert No. 2 Sugar from Ragus, which will add notes of caramel and toffee while helping to keep the beer's body in check. The all-important hops are British-grown Goldings and Northdown, which gives us some gentle berry flavours and rounded cedar-like hop aromas to balance the maltiness. We've pitched 2 of our yeast strains, namely our fruity British cask ale strain and the California ale strain, which is fairly neutral in flavour, and ensured the attenuation we are looking for. There you go.
I like, the more I drink it as well, the more I think like how it feels very like a pub beer, like specifically a pub beer. Like it doesn't feel like the same type of thing like I'd be going, like when I envision myself drinking it, it's in a pub, but probably not like you're out for rounds and rounds of people. It's like I envision myself sitting by myself at a pub or with one other person and just enjoying the moment. It does give that pub vibe specifically, which is what, I don't know, maybe other people will go, what makes it a pub vibe? But
no, you just know when you drink it. Like
you just know.
Yeah, I think that moment is the thing that's really important. Like you can imagine yourself having a moment with this beer, and it's not always about those super crazy flavors or super impactful flavors. Sometimes it's just about this is going to give you a really comforting, a really impactful moment, either with yourself or with somebody else. Like, and this is the kind of beer I think that's going to do that.
I think when I think of pub beers sometimes as well, I think of like when I'm sat in a pub garden and it's like sunny and I'm in a pub garden, whereas like this, because the flavors are more full, like, and you have those more like toffee, burnt toffee and bitter notes to it, it feels like actually I could see myself less in a sunny day in a pub garden and more like a gloomy day, a rainy day, or even like colder days.
Yeah.
And like this is what I'd be enjoying, not necessarily on a sunny day. And like I said, sitting reading a book or writing something, or I feel like this is the beer that you have when you're needing a solo drink, like just a solo drink. Say you're traveling someplace and you're like, I'll stop in here for a quick half or a quick pint or whatever, or I need to get some writing done or some reading done, or I've got some time to kill, I'll go and do that. Like this for me is that beer, as opposed to like a lager where you're like, oh, we're all out for drinks and let's go in the pub garden and chat and enjoy the sun. Like I think this is your like comfy place. Like I feel like the only way I could say it is like this is the solo moment, the comfy place in a pub, inside, tucked away in a little nook somewhere, like maybe doing like a crossword puzzle or something.
Have a chair with arms,
possibly fireplace,
wing back if they've got.
Oh yes, leather, old
squishy
leather
and comfy,
used very well worn. Very broken in, well worn. We're creating a visual for you. A well worn. There's a fire somewhere in the distance. It may or may not be on, but it's there.
There's one there,
and it's one of the like wooden beams.
Yes,
badges all over the beams of it. very narrow, creaky. Maybe it's got a tiled floor. You're having to like squeeze by people to get to the bar. Maybe some people look at you weird when you get to the bar because they're like, you don't normally come here, and you're like, well, I'm here now.
I don't care. I'm going to drink a pint of the Union in the corner in that fancy looking chair.
Yeah, I think it feels like we've just really given the essence of what this beer is.
Yeah. All right.
I'm happy with it.
It's a delicious beer. So let's talk about this system that it was brewed on. So, what are Burton Unions? I'm going to put the links to all of these articles that I reference in the show notes because if you're geeky like us listeners,
you proper geeked out over this. Like the amount of times you're like, and the Union system, and you really like there were the beers that you were like, I need the Union. Yeah, you loved it. You were proper geeking out over it.
Yeah, I like properly because it's like a really, as I go through it, like it's a very unique way of creating beer. So what are Burton Unions? So this is from Roger Prost's article for Camera in What's Brewing, called "Beautiful Beast Now Brewing in Bakewell." Peter Walker was a brewer in Warrington, and he opened a new brewery in Burton in the mid-19th century to use the mineral-rich spring waters from the Trent Valley to produce the new style of pale ale that was becoming popular at the time. As you may know, Burton-on-Trent had the best kind of water for making these types of beers. We got a podcast that talked about water. I can't remember what number it is, but go back through and
it's a long.
It seems a lot.
Really
a long time ago.
Oh, I think it's quite a long time ago. I would be shocked if it was 2022 max. 2022 absolute max, because that's when we were talking, I believe that's when we got into talking about the Czech lagers, and then it turned into water profiles, because I think that's when we looked at Attic's Czech inspired lager, because we talked about Birmingham's water.
So that's go back and listen to that if you want to hear more
somewhere
about water profiles.
Google it.
So he was responding to the need for this beer, but also people wanted clear beer at that time because pewter tankards had been replaced by glass in pubs, and drinkers were not happy with murky, yeasty beer. So the Burton Unions were designed to cleanse the beer of yeast in order to produce a clear, sparkling pale ale. Fermentation takes place in large oak casks linked together or held in union, that's where the Union system name comes from. The force of the fermentation drives beer and yeast up swan-necked pipes into trays above. Now, I'm going to say all of this stuff and you're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? There is a really good diagram of what this looks like and helps to make it clearer in the article Once More for the Union by Anthony Gladman in Brewer and Distiller International. I'm going to put the link in the show notes, but it is also linked at the bottom of Thornbridge's blog post about their Union system. And if you're watching the video, here is the little diagram because I printed it out to help me talking about it.
I've googled it.
So you've got these casks, right? And there is a trough above the casks. They're all in a line, and so your wort's been made in the usual way that you make it, and it gets fed into this trough and then goes into the casks. As it's fermenting away in those casks, because fermentation can be very vigorous, it pushes the yeast up through a swan neck tube and into the trough that's above the casks, and then it trickles back down and goes back into the casks. So gradually the yeast is left at the top and you've got clear beer in the casks, and then there's valves at the bottom that drip into another trough that takes the clear beer off and takes it off to be bottled, conditioned, whatever needs to be done to it. So this system was developed to get rid of the yeast from the beer, so you've got really clear beer, because now you've got glasses and people can see your murky beer and they want something nice and clear. The trays are held at a slight incline, allowing the beer to run back into the casks while the yeast is retained in the trough. Each cask in a union can hold 150 gallons of beer, which, to us, I don't know what 150 gallons of beer is, that works out to 1,200 pints in each cask.
That's why I wouldn't have thought there was that many.
Yeah, so some of those systems could have, when it was in their heyday, they could have from 24 to 60 casks. So they were able to produce a lot of beer on this. And then sufficient beer is left in the beer to allow for a powerful secondary fermentation in casks, which they need in the pub cellars. In 1837, Walker took out a patent on the new system, and within a few years, other breweries in Burton had adopted it, and it was called the Walker system. It spread not only to other centres in Britain, but as far afield as Ireland, India, and Australia. Unfortunately, the system is labour-intensive and expensive to maintain, as the oak casks had to be cleaned regularly and repaired by coopers. That's someone who makes a barrel. And Indacoop stopped using unions in 1959. Bass stopped using theirs in 1982. They were the biggest brewery in Burton. They were one of the biggest brewers in Burton, and they closed their doors in 1982 for it. Marston's was the only brewery in Britain that was still using the system to brew its pedigree bitter. They then got bought out by Carlsberg, creating Carlsberg Marston's, CMBC. And then in 2024, CMBC decided that they didn't want to use the union system anymore either, because it was labour intensive. So that's when everyone thought that this amazing system, you could go. I never got to go and see it when it was in Burton, but you would hear tales of people going to see it, and it's just kind of bubbling away, and there's yeast coming out the top, and there's beer going back in, and it'd just be working away, and there's all of these casks that are just doing their thing and making this beer, and everyone said it was like a wonder to behold. Carlsberg Marston decided they were shutting it down, and they were going to take it apart and never use it again. So beer aficionados and nerds are up in arms, because they're like, oh my god, this system is part of our heritage, like what are we going to do? So we were very lucky in that Garrett Oliver from Brooklyn Brewery had seen that it was all going to be closed down, and he's a great person to keep tradition going and be an advocate for things within the brewing community. And he had done some work with Thornbridge and thought that Thornbridge would be a great place to have some of the Burton Union system. So he had a chat with the people that he knew at CMPC. They had a chat with Thornbridge, and it was then worked out that Thornbridge would have a chunk of the union system. They haven't got the whole thing because it was massive, but they have some of it set up. And apparently Carlsberg Marston were actually really good about coming down, helping them set it up, giving them advice on how to keep it going, how to clean it, so that they could set it up really well and use it for years to come. I will note that in the UK, in the Burton system, the union systems that were used in the UK, the barrels were made out of wood, but the wood was not there to impart flavour. It was just what was used for it. So it was typically neutral wood that was used for those barrels. That is important when I come back round to this later.
I was going to ask additional questions, and when you said it's important for later, I was like, I will hold off my additional questions for the time being.
There is a reason why I've noted that.
Okay.
Though the barrels are neutral and they're not imparting flavour, when this system was set up, it was more important that the quality of the yeast and the character of the fermentation that the system produces could be used to create better beers than it was for the barrels to add flavour. But as we said, the reason it was being closed down is because it's very labour intensive. Cleaning is difficult and is conducted with large amounts of hot water and manual labour. modern cleaning chemicals and automated cleaning systems cannot be used on the wood. So it has to be done by hand, and it's got to be done with lots of water to make sure it's clean rather than using chemicals. So that just makes it a bit of a nightmare.
It makes sense as well. Like, it is probably cost prohibitive for if you're a company that's if you're a bigger beer company and you've bought out a brewery, like, probably you need to look at your costings, because I imagine they're going to try to make things as cost effective as they can in certain places, and what you'd have to pay and the labour. And I'm not saying I agree with it by any means, but like, I get why that particular company with it probably would go, not sure this is where we're wanting the money to go, especially like I said, if it can't be one of an automated
can't be
thing,
automated. There are certain
which is
practices
sad
in place where you've got to have certain levels of of cleanliness. Like, I'm not saying it's not clean, but like, obviously there's certain levels that you've got to hit.
Brewing's all cleaning,
right? Everything is cleaning, and this, if you can't use the newer methods that make it a little bit easier, then it's going to be even more labor intensive than cleaning already is. So that's
and when you've got that bottom line coming from like a corporate world, and it is really sad, because I feel like this really demonstrates quite well about how these are the type of things that there's a place for more macro level beer, big beer and everything. Like, there is a place in a market for that. But what happens is, when they do buy up these breweries, like, these are the type of things that go. And like, if you're not, if people, especially with the challenges that breweries have today, under how hard it is to survive and how cost prohibitive everything is, and how where the bottom line sits today, and how hard it is to meet that bottom line, like, even smaller breweries are gonna find it hard to maintain these things. And it's really sad, because it's like, the people that have more money, that are the bigger beer, actually are the ones that probably could financially afford to keep it going. But because of their operating model, they're like, but that's not really right for us. So it's nice that this has a home in at least two places.
And they, it was being used to make pedigree. Like, you see pedigree in all of the supermarkets. So that is, they're making a significant amount of pedigree to do it on that system. If that, if they can make it, air quotes, taste the same without using that labor intensive way of doing it, or at least taste as much like it, air quotes, as the consumer will still say, yes, that's my same beer, and do it in a less labor intensive way, then these breweries are going to do that.
It's interesting though, because you can't really prove it at this point, can you? Because you can't really prove that you go, actually, has it changed the flavor? Because we don't have a single beer that is brewed on both. And I think that would actually be really interesting to see. It would be really hard to call a beer that's called the Union, that's brewed on the Union, to not brew it on the Union. But I think it would be really interesting for somebody that has the capability to do such, like Thornbridge, to say, let's go side by side. Oh, I feel like that's going to come up. I will hold my further questions.
Hold that thought, because I'm going to bring that up in a minute.
This is a 7% beer, and I think, as much as I was saying,
sugar, is it?
Yeah, and I've drank more than half of it already. But I will say, like, even though I was saying, it's quite full in flavour, and it is like a heavier, fuller flavour, and it's probably about medium bodied. It's not the lightest, it's not the thickest.
Yeah.
But for the flavour profiles and everything else, like, I said it's full flavour, but it doesn't have like that alcohol. Like, there's no alcohol warmth, there's nothing that like that. 7%, it doesn't taste 7%, in my opinion.
No, it does not.
It is very drinkable. Yeah. I was looking as you were talking, and I was kind of like reading the back of the bottle and like looking at it, and I was like, alcohol 7% in a 500 ml. It's a school night.
Right,
calm down.
Goodness me.
And we still have another one.
And we've still got another one. So, as I said, Garrett Oliver tried to find a way to save this, and he knew that Thornbridge were interested in, they have a respect for history, is how he put it, and he thought they would be a great home for the Union set. So they got hold of Simon Webster at Thornbridge, and he was very keen to install the Union set and brew Jaipur IPA on it.
Oh.
So in the spring of 2024, CNBC went to Thornbridge with a team of brewers and coopers and helped them set up the union. They also advised Thornbridge's head brewer Rob Lovett and his team on how to look after the oak cask, which date from 1990. So the ones that are at Thornbridge are from 1990. And soak them with clean water on a regular basis. The Thornbridge Set, which is what it's going to be called now, because you can't call it the Burton Union because it's not in Burton, it's in Bakewell.
The Bakewell Union.
The Thornbridge Set has 6 of the 150-gallon barrels, and they date from 1990.
1919.
1990.
Oh, 1990. Oh, yeah. I'm still older than it. That's
1990.
I mean, I'm definitely not still older than it. I'm very much younger than it, but mentally.
And then in May 2024, they did a double brew of Jaipur and fermented half in the Union system. They put it on at the tap room, and they put on cask side by side regular Jaipur on cask and Union brewed Jaipur on cask for the patrons to taste the difference. Now, Rob Lovett, who's the head brewer at Thornbridge, has, obviously drunk a lot of Jaipur over the years. He said, it's not that easy to tell the difference between the two, but they are certainly different and both are great beers in their own right. Even as a head brewer with 20 years plus experience, I'm still trying to find the words to articulate the difference. I would describe the Union fermented version as more rounded and softer and perhaps less bitter. So it is difficult to tell the difference.
But I'd love to see it. I'd love to be able to have that comparison now, because obviously they did that a few year ago. But yeah, no, genuinely, I would love to be able to do like a blind test of that, because I think when you know that one of them was on the Union and you work there, and you're not doing it blind, you're kind of going, let me try them side by side, and you're looking for the difference, and it's great. He's going, it's hard to tell the difference, which is nice that he's like, it is hard to tell the difference. But I can't put into words what this other thing is. Why what's different is different. And you kind of wonder, because you know that this is such a special, unique part of history, are you looking for anything that you can find that is what makes a difference? So almost does your brain pick up stuff that's not there? No, I'm not saying that is the case. What I'm saying is I know how we influence each other just by being like, do you taste that? And you're like,
yes,
immediately,
I do
yes.
now.
But I wasn't, but now I am. So I think that's the thing is I would love to go into that situation of having 2 beers that are one brewed on the Union, one not brewed on the Union, blind tasting it, because it would be interesting to be like, I think these, and you'd still know that one was on it. So maybe you would be looking for something to be different. But it would be interesting in that regard, I think, especially because he knew which one was which. So is he going, this one's on the Thornbridge, not Union.
Thornbridge Set.
The Thornbridge Set. And I feel like they're very similar, but I can taste blah, blah, blah. And it's but because there's definitely bitterness in this.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't know what this was like if it
wasn't
on there. So yeah, I find that very interesting. And I would really encourage Thornbridge to do that again in a way that and bottle it like they have here and sell it as a set, because I think that would be incredibly interesting to blind.
It'd also be really interesting to taste it on cask and in bottle to see the difference between that.
Yeah, because I also do wonder if they had it at the tap room, does it make a difference between what's in a bottle versus
probably with a sparkler?
Oh, yeah. Watch our last. If you don't know what that is, listen to our last.
Go and listen about tight creamy heads.
Tight creamy heads. But yeah, I think that's the thing. That's the stuff that you nerd out over the kit.
Yeah.
I nerd out over the I want to see the difference and compare it and get hands on with that. So I would love if that happened again, whether it was Jaipur, whether it was anything else, any beer. I would love to see this as a range that happens reoccurring.
Yeah.
But that's just my hopes and dreams. So I'm used to them being crushed, so it's cool.
I've got some information about who else has Union sets or similar. But should we crack our next beer before? Because we can do those, and then we can do your air quotes.
They're facts. They are facts.
Air quotes facts.
Don't air quote them. They're facts.
I'm going to air quotes them.
They're somebody's fact.
All right, our second beer is 1838, which is a pale ale, which is brewed on the Union. And I love that, like, all of the ones that are on the Union, on the top of the badge, it says, from the Union. So that
from
you
the
know.
Union, bottle conditioned. Yeah. It does say on the back of it, though, it's like named after the year the Burton Union system was patented by Peter Walker, but it doesn't say the year after the Thornbridge Set. It doesn't say from the Thornbridge Set. So this one is Union.
Very clear. My glasses.
I was going to say, because actually what we probably didn't say on the first one was like, the first one's definitely clear, but I think it just had a very mild haze to it, where like looking through it, it does distort. You can see through to the other side, but it is slightly distorted. And as you were talking about the clarity, I was going to say like that was probably the one thing about that.
Ooh. It smells beautiful.
Again, it looks beautiful. Oh, another beautiful. This is very clear. Yeah. I would have guessed, if you didn't tell me this, if it didn't say pale ale on it and I looked at this, I would have guessed this was a lager.
Yeah, it's very clear. It smells quite floral.
Not from the smell, though. I was going to say, the smell it doesn't give me lager vibes, but...
Yeah, which, interestingly, named after the year, reading off the back of the bottle, named after the year the Burton Union system was patented by Peter Walker, 1838 is brewed exclusively on the set at Thornbridge. 1838 combines the best British malt, Marisotta, with the finest Golding hops for a full-bodied premium pale ale with a light amber hue. This beer delivers sweet, biscuity malt flavours balanced with floral hop notes and a crisp finish.
I don't smell the Marisotta in this like I smell it in...
I think the floral hop is, like, prominent.
I think it's mostly floral, but I almost initially got almost like a touch of spice.
Yeah, I can see where you're getting that.
I almost wanted to say, like, initially my brain went, like, peppery, but then, like, it kind of changed to, like, spice, and then you were like, floral, and I was like, now it's all floral. So it's all
I get the peppery as well. Right, should we taste it?
Yeah. But you're right, I've poured both, and you can see.
It's so clear, this one.
This one is so clear. Yeah. Right.
Cheers.
It's much lighter.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've got two sides of the corn.
We've just been drinking 7.
Yeah, you can notice it for sure. In that regard, that didn't taste 7 until I tasted the 4.5, and then I was like, that's definitely a 7. I feel like it's the other side of the coin.
Yeah,
where we were saying like the Union was I'm sitting alone in this cozy chair in a pub, in this rainy, wintry weather, or, you know, rainy season weather, reading a book, blah, blah, blah. I think the 1838 is back to that, like, sunny beer garden, drinking it quicker.
Yeah.
Because you're having a conversation like this tastes really, like, they both taste really nice, but it's a different type of drinkable. And it's like this is the socializing beer that you're drinking really quickly, getting rounds in, playing cards, playing whatever your card game of choice is, or a board game or whatever, yapping in the sun.
Yeah.
Enjoying it at a picnic bench in a pub garden, dogs about, saying hi to them. It's great.
Like, can't you imagine sitting outside at the Thornbridge tap room just drinking this?
Yeah.
On one of the big benches.
Got a pizza
one of the
coming.
pizzas, yeah. Say hello to the dogs.
Say hello to the dogs. Play a board game.
Yeah, nice.
Enjoying life. This one is the social, active, sunny, happy weather beer. The Union's the, like, when I feel like I want to be a grumpy hermit. And I'm like, but in a good way, respectfully, when I want to be the grumpy hermit, that's like, please don't talk to me. I'm just here to read my book. I'm here to read my comic. I'm here to do my puzzles. Please leave me alone. The 1838 is like, please talk to me.
Yeah.
I'm here for this.
Yeah.
I'm here for social. This is my social meter. 100%. I'm happy. I think that they complement each other very well for, like, the different modes. But it shows how versatile the Union is.
Yeah.
The Thornbridge set.
I'm really sad that I missed the Burton Ale
You're never going to get over that.
I'm never going to get over it. If they rebrew it, somebody please alert me right away so that I can buy some. If someone finds one somewhere, please buy it for me. I'll reimburse you because I really want the Burton ale. We can't get it. We have also in our fridges, but it's a school night, so we didn't want to do 3 beers. We also have a West Coast IPA done on the Union, so that's
I've got it next to me so I can show it.
It's a collaboration with Burning Sky.
It was Burning Sky, yeah. That's why I was really, really excited about it, but it felt like going with the historically named one and the self-titled. Yeah. You always want to go with the self-titled album.
Yeah.
So that's always going to be the banger. Because you wouldn't self-title it if it wasn't a banger.
Right.
And then, like, the historically accurate name, I was like, oh, great. But then I was like, but Burning Sky, though.
Yeah, that's going to be good. So, we're going to enjoy that separately.
I'm excited for that one.
We did try and get another beer, which we'll talk about in a minute, but Sorry's didn't turn up, so...
Mine didn't turn up because I ordered from someplace and something happened with Royal Mail and then it was meant to come today and then it didn't come today.
It did not.
So, yeah... is what it is.
Yeah. So other people have Union sets. As I mentioned, Epochal in Glasgow also managed to take a chunk of the Burton Union. They've rescued it and they have got it so that they can brew beers on it. Now, Epochal, if you haven't heard of them, they like to produce. I say they. It is literally Gareth on his own. It's just Gareth. Gareth likes to produce like historically accurate, like he looks at historical recipes. Like
we've had them before on, but quite a long time ago we had those beers.
Yeah, they do really beautiful beers, like historical styles, trying to finding old Scottish recipes and reviving them and things like that. So I think it's a really good home for it.
The woodwork that had been put out from there, that's like, oh my god, the cheese boards were like chef's kiss. But also on that, I found an article about Epochal having them, and it looks like they were actually gifted the Burton Union set by CNBC, and I thought that was really interesting. That it was like Thornbridge was like, I'll seek this out and do it, and like Epochal was like, they were. I don't know what the situation was with Thornbridge, but it was interesting that they probably were just going, we just want them to go, we want it to go to a good home.
I don't think money changed hands for any of this.
No.
It was all like...
But this was specifically specified of like, it was a gift and they helped them set it up. And I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah, I was really impressed that in both, with Thornbridge and with Epochal, like CNBC went out, help them set it up, help them advice, like they haven't.
They could have been like,
here's this stuff
you give
that
me
we're
money,
rid of, like
you want this historical thing, pay us for it.
Yeah, they have like recognised the historical significance of it and are helping other breweries to continue it. So that's really good.
It's cool.
Gareth Young from Epochal says, I'm hugely passionate about barrel fermented ales, so the opportunity for Epochal to have our own Burton Union system was the chance of a lifetime. CNBC has been hugely supportive throughout this project to make it a reality. I genuinely cannot wait to start brewing with our very own Union set and to come up with some fantastic new beers for ale aficionados to enjoy. I haven't seen any beers from Epochal that have used it yet.
Oh, we'll
keep an eye out.
Well, yeah, I was going to say I can see one in the photo. Maybe we've got to take a look out for it. But yeah, this is another one which was set up by Garrett Oliver. So
yeah, Garrett Oliver's like just getting his
doing the good, doing the good work.
Yeah.
So
and
I love that somebody that's not even over here is like, I want to keep the history.
Yeah, Garrett Oliver.
Let's
amazing.
get it. That like,
that man, so good.
Round of applause.
And he has just been like recently, last few months, been to Thornbridge and created a dark mild with a strong dark mild on the Union system. Which is available.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So when you see that, get some of that because I bet it's bloody delicious. I want some, please.
It sounds really nice. I'm now searching for the Epochal ones as well as you speak.
So the UK is not the only place that has a Union system.
What?
I thought this was really interesting, right? So Firestone Walker have one. Firestone Walker Brewing Company in Paso Robles, California, uses a modified Burton Union system that consists of 40 American oak barrels, each with a capacity of 65 gallons, which is 520 pints. The Firestone Walker system uses a modified Burton Union fermentation system, which is actually called the Firestone Union US Patent 1996. So they've got their own version. And it is the only and before Thornbridge and Epochal took the bits, they were the only brewery in the world besides Marston's who was recognised as operating a union set. So obviously not now, because Thornbridge and Epochal have got it, but they were the only other ones other than Marston's who had one.
But I've got additional questions, because they're like, this is their Firestone Union set and patented. Oh, okay, all right, let's go.
Let me continue. So the Union set is used to produce the brewery's flagship double barrel ale, the Walker's Reserve Porter, and Pale 31 of their beers. Their system does not utilise an elaborate system of swan neck, so that's the pipe that comes out of the top of the barrels and that the yeast is pushed out of to go into a trough. Instead, it uses flexible hose and a smaller set of receiving buckets rather than the trough at the top. It consists of new American oak barrels that are 227 litres or 60 US gallons in size.
I see where this is going.
Which are toasted inside, similar to winemakers' barrels, and impart wood flavour to the beer. So theirs are selected to add flavour to the beer, whereas the UK ones are not. Firestone Walker system is not utilised to collect yeast. So whereas the other one, like they're collecting it at the top and they're going to reuse it, they don't care about that. But the unique geometry of the system, along with the new American oak barrels, has a profound effect on the flavour of the beer. In the Firestone process, 24-hour-old fermented wort is delivered to the individual barrels utilising a racking cane. The wort is then allowed to ferment without any temperature control in a series of barrels ranging from 32 to 48 in number. Remember, each one of those barrels holds 520 pints, so that's a big chunk of beer. As the beer ferments, brown yeast and foam are pushed from the barrels to a receiving bucket out of those pipes, and the cast off foam is discarded. So they just get rid of that. It's just gone. They're not reusing it. The finished beer has a notable soft and fruity character with a pronounced oaky vanilla note compared with beer simply fermented in stainless steel vessels. So they've taken that process and then modified it to add another layer of flavour, which I thought was really interesting. Now, we did try to get hold of double barrel ale. I have it, Tori does not. So we're not going to drink it right now because Tori hasn't got it. But try and find that beer and try it and see what you think of it, because their union system is used to impart flavour. So.
Not cool that mine's not here, because we would have it. But it's interesting because, like, when you were like, oh, it's not, like, in some ways, and I don't want to sound like a negative person, but, like, I'm going to say it, like, in some ways I go, kind of less impressed, like, when you're like, oh,
right,
there's,
it's
like,
not
flexi hoses and it goes in the barrels, I'm like, oh, cool.
They've kind of
given it, like, a different, they've given it this, like, fancy, it's the Firestone Union, patented, blah, blah, blah.
And bloody Americans like, taking things and thinking they're improving it, and really they're just putting a different name on it.
We can say that because I'm American, it's okay. Please
taking the bloody U out, like...
They took the U out. It's just the neon. It's just the neon system. The Firestone neon system. But like, as you were like reading out, I was like, that's a really fancy name. And then I was going to say, like, what makes that so fancy? What makes that so different? And then when you were like, they got rid of the swan necks. So I was like,
rid of the swan necks.
Okay. And then you were like, it's some flexi pipe into a bucket. And I was like, oh. And then I got really like sad. But then you were like, but then they did something about the barrels. So it actually imparts flavour. So like, I would love if we combine both worlds. And we went, let's do something really interesting with the barrels so that they've got
really
flavor, which maybe Epochal will do. Yeah,
really just rounded, vanilla-y, oaky beer
with a swan neck because it's more impressive.
With the swan neck, and you can.
Like,
I wonder if
I just want to know what the setup looks like. Does it look like they're like meh? It's just like chucked into a barrel.
think I must have the link to the
article that I found. The way it sounded was like, look at how impressive this is. And then they explain it and I go, oh, it sounds sad.
It does just look like barrels with buckets underneath.
I'm sure it's doing something impressive, but it's also what makes that a union, because it feels like that's not really a
I wonder
if
they're getting rid of the yeast because it's got the flavours from the barrel in it. And so they don't want to.
But at least put the buckets over the top, rack the buckets, and put the flexi pipe. But because it feels like that's part of the lure is like, look at that, it's got these really cool setup, and how it looks is cool. And then in this case, they're like, now we just chuck the hose out the side in a bucket, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I don't know what to tell you. That's how they do theirs.
Oh, I was like. With the fancy name, I was really like, oh, this is going to be good. And when you're like, I have facts on this, I was like, great, amazing. And then you're like, yeah, it's a flexi pipe in a bucket. I'm like, oh, cool.
If it makes you feel better,
it won't.
It's also called, instead of a receiving bucket, you can call it a bram back.
It doesn't make it better, no. There's no swan neck. What's the point?
No, there's no swan neck.
I'm sure it's good though. I can't wait. I wish I could try it. If only. I wish it could be that easy.
I saved mine, and we can share it. We can drink it together.
Well, I mean, mine will arrive eventually. Maybe we'll find out.
The joys of Royal Mail.
I actually don't think this is Royal Mail's fault.
No,
it is. It is. No, it is. But also, I don't think anybody did anything that bad. It happens. I'm unlucky.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe it's sparing me from having a beer that's just got a bucket to the side. I don't know.
Goes to the bucket.
Goes to the bucket.
All right, tell me your air quotes facts.
Why are you saying air quotes?
Because I enjoy a little bit of AI, as much as the next person, but sometimes it can hallucinate, as we have discovered.
I think it's because specifically before we started recording, I asked it. I told you that I asked ChatGPT to give me some wild. I said specifically, my prompt was, can you make up some wild, in all caps, facts about the Thornbridge?
Make up wild facts. Therefore, air quotes facts. They are not real.
Yeah, but no one knew about it till I just said that now. So I said, can you make up some wild, in all caps, facts about the Thornbridge Union system? To be fair, before that, I also said fun facts about the Thornbridge Union system. And then I didn't know if you were going to cover all this.
Okay.
And then I thought, well, they're not really that fun. It's just factual. It's like inspired by Burton's brewing legacy. Right. It uses oak barrels for fermentation. Yeah. It self-regulates yeast overflow.
Yeah. I do find that if you ask for fun facts, it either goes fun and they're not facts.
They're just
factual and they're not fun. So
yeah, and then it's like one of the fun facts is it's visually stunning. I mean, that's cool. Subjective, isn't it?
Yeah, that is 100% subjective.
So like, if we're talking
maybe someone doesn't want to see yeast spurting out of a barrel.
I mean, I think it's visually stunning. Yeah. I think it looks nice. But then if you're like, oh, but it's Firestones, I'm like, oh,
it's a bucket.
Cool. So, I thought, those aren't jazzy enough. And I didn't really. I was like, it's not, could be jazzier.
Okay.
So,
give us some jazzy air quotes flat facts.
I think stop air quoting. Wild facts.
They're not facts. You got it to make it up.
I mean, it does say it's 100% fictional and 110% fun. So if nothing else, you're going to have fun. Maybe.
Great. Let's do it. Let's have some fictional
fun in a fucking flexi pipe barrel. Number 1, the barrels are haunted. each oak barrel. Summerween, girl. Each oak barrel in the Union system. I didn't read that. This is great. Each oak barrel in the Union system is named after a ghost of a Victorian brewer who swore never to let a bad pint leave the premise. If fermentation goes off, you can hear them groan in disapproval through the wood. That's fun.
That's brilliant.
I can ask it what the brewers' names are, but I don't want to kill a whole village just to get the fake names. I'm happy to do it for 10 fun facts. Yeah. Don't want to do it for the added bonus. These are, I've not properly read them. I scanned them as we were talking before recording. Right. Audibly laughed at some of the ones I saw, but I didn't actually read in detail. So this is fantastic. There are 10 of them. Number 2, it's controlled by a retired badger.
What? This is why Carlsberg Marston couldn't afford it anymore.
Yeah, they couldn't because they couldn't pay Malcolm, a retired badger named Malcolm, reportedly monitors fermentation levels by sniffing the airflow valves. He only growls if the ABV dips below 4.5%. Obviously, they couldn't afford Malcolm.
No, Malcolm was too much of an expense.
Yeah, Malcolm doesn't fuck around and find out. He's got a job to do. He's on it. Busy. Yeah. And if you can't pay that, he's been loaned out though. He should. As he should. So that is great. Oh my God, these are a nightmare. Well, I mean, how fun are you having so far in terms of percentage? 110%?
110% fun.
And they are 100% fictional so far. So it's lived up to the hype.
Great.
Number 3. It once predicted the weather. Just one time.
Only once?
So, no, only once. So in 2017... Yeah, just one time. Okay. Since it's been at Thornbridge. I don't know about before that. Maybe it was 5
in like the last year.
I don't know. So in 2017.
Oh, in 2017.
Yeah, because it's great. So in 2017, the Thornbridge Union system began to bubble in such a way that it accurately predicted a hailstorm 3 days in advance. The brewery now logs its fermentation activity alongside the Met Office.
Okay. Right. Good.
Yeah. I mean,
it wasn't called the Thornbridge the Thornbridge Set in 2017, but okay.
I mean, it says from the Union. Thornbridge Union. So
okay, go.
I mean, I'm just saying. Look, maybe that's not 100% made up. Maybe this is 99% made up. We don't know. Number 4. This is a great one. Number 4. Can't wait for your reaction on this. The pipes are made from repurposed saxophones.
Saxophones.
Hear me out.
Okay.
The yeast return pipes were all handcrafted, swan neck, from the brass saxophones. You don't have this at Firestone. They do not have this. This is exclusive.
Definitely don't have this at
Firestone. All handcrafted from brass saxophones salvaged from a failed ska band. When fermentation is particularly active, you can hear a faint jazzy riff.
That's a lot of saxophones.
And then when the fermentation, starts to drip over, you got to pick it up. So, I wrote that. That was not ChatGPT. Yeah. So now you're having 120% fun.
Way.
Number 5. One barrel produces beer exclusively for hedgehogs. Barrel number 7, specifically, affectionately known as the prickly pint, produces a special micro batch ale that's so low in ABV, it's legally classified as hedgehog hydration.
Hedgehog hydration.
I didn't make it up. I didn't make that up.
You didn't.
Factually correct that I did not make that up.
You did not make that up.
Bear in mind.
Don't choke on your beer.
So, bear in mind, we said this was made in 1919. 1919. No.
The current one is
barrels 1990. Yeah, sorry,
1990.
Yeah. So it was originally designed by Da Vinci. Illuminati triangles. I'm not saying triangles, but triangles. A swan neck, if you add another side to it, is kind of almost a triangle. So a forgotten sketch in Da Vinci's notebooks show a fluid transfer system remarkably similar to Thornbridge's Union. Historians believe he meant it for beer, but the Vatican insists it was for holy water.
Why did they need to ferment holy water?
Fake news. They just don't want you to know.
Okay.
So, yep, there you go. Number 7, you have to whisper to the yeast. So Thornbridge brewers take turns reading gentle affirmations to the yeast colonies before fermentation starts. They believe it creates a more confident, well-rounded flavour profile. If it were me, I'd be reading disappointing affirmations. But then, then it would probably be more bitter. And obviously,
you've got to balance out that bitterness.
Yeah, you've got to balance it out. So we've got to read gentle affirmations. I would love to know, I don't want to kill a village for it, but I would love to know what the affirmations are, but I'm just, you can imagine it.
Yeah.
Number 8. Aliens once tried to communicate through it. During a full moon in 2019, the bubbles in the yeast trough reportedly aligned in Morse code, spelling "send beer." No further signals have been received, possibly because they were sent a lager.
Oh,
that's what it says. I didn't make that up. That was written. Got him.
Oh dear.
Number 9. The barrels are kept calm with ambient whale sounds. To keep the yeast happy and relaxed, Thornbridge play whale song and deep ambient synths through hidden speakers. It's also why their ales are so deep and well-rounded. I think that you'll find, before I tell you number 10, I think you'll find that if we put this out here, Thornbridge will validate all these facts.
Okay.
So the only Thornbridge can validate these, maybe not the Da Vinci one. The Da Vinci one's hard.
Yeah.
But all the rest of them, Malcolm, they'll tell you about Malcolm.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
They'll tell you about their hedgehog barrel number 7. You know, the Morse code. They don't really want to talk about that. They don't really want to talk about that. That's a bit, but we don't know about 7 because it's not for us.
Seven's imaginary. Okay,
don't be ridiculous. That's for the hedgehogs. And it predicting the weather and all that. They could validate all of this.
Okay.
But number 10, the most important one. It was voted sexiest brewing system 3 years in a row.
3?
Only 3 years in a row.
Wow.
Beer Machinery Monthly readers voted the Thornbridge Union system as the sexiest piece of brewing equipment from 2022 to 2024, which is not 3 years if my math is correct. Was it? Two?
That's 2.
No, it is. No.
Oh.
2022, 2023. I'm bad at math. It's 3 years. But it lost in 2025 to a particularly curvy German mash tun.
Oh, I mean, those German mash tuns are pretty sexy. I do not have a subscription to this magazine. I feel like
no, do you need to get on it? I feel like you are the target audience.
Yes. If only for work purposes, I feel like.
You're like, it's for work. It's what Gordon comes in. You're like, it's for work.
It's for work, man.
You get the calendar up.
The
January to December sexiest beers, and you're like, oh, that German mash tun is
the centerfold of the Union system bubbling away.
As you're putting it out as all 6 barrels, you're like, oh, that's a good one.
That's a good shot.
So that one's obviously believable.
I bought it for the articles.
It's the articles. It's for work. It's work purposes. Fantastic. That's great. I think we need to make that. Somebody needs to make that. The sexiest brewing equipment. The sexiest brewing. No, not even that. Sexiest brewing systems. Sexiest brewing systems. Mm-hmm. We need a pin-up calendar.
Yeah.
12 months of sexy brewing systems. I'm in.
Our Kickstarter will be up soon.
It'll be so good. So would you say rating out of percentage of fun?
That was 100% fun. Yeah.
I would say it's the whole 110%, if I'm being honest.
100%, 110% fun, yes, it was.
Thank you. So that's all I've got for you today. It was pretty good. That's why I was like, let me cover all, I'm not sure that Thornbridge is really the right people to validate that last one, because they've got no affiliation to that. They just house it they're not responsible for the votes. That, you know, they wouldn't buy votes, they wouldn't do anything.
Absolutely not.
It's all above board.
Brewery.
It's all above board.
Yeah.
But they can tell you about all the other things, like they play
Malcolm.
the whale songs, the ambient synths, they
And
whisper the gentle affirmations. Maybe they could tell us the gentle affirmations they whisper. So, but yeah, I hope you all enjoyed those. 100%.
That's good. Liked it.
Facts that I didn't make up.
Yeah.
So I hope you like that.
Well, there you go. Okay. Well, there you go. That's the union system, and I'm very pleased that Thornbridge have saved it, and that Epochal have got some as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna now look. Their shop's not on. Like, I looked on their shop, and it was not active at the moment. But I know that they tend to do specific shops, small at a time. You tend to just have to go there and get it. Yeah. So keep an eye out.
Yes,
best we can do.
Yeah. And if you find an Epochal beer with that has been brewed on their union system, Tori, if someone wants to tell you that they found that beer, where can they get hold of you?
Yeah, you can tell me, or like if you know somebody at Thornbridge and you want to just like reach out to me and
validate.
Just tell me like you're validated. We hear like Malcolm is real. Here's a photo of Malcolm. Like, here's all these amazing. Everything you said was true, and you want to back me up. Feel free to post about it. Tag us in it. You can tag me specifically. That's adventures_in_optimism on Instagram. You know, you could submit photo evidence to me at adventuresinoptimism@gmail.com. If you want to like send it through on my website, you know, that's adventures.
And you could write a blog post about Malcolm.
I'll write a blog post. You can send me the deets. I'll write a blog post. Like, it will be great. I did put another blog post up recently. Ooh. I was very proud of me. Go me. I did put a blog post up. Only one out of the 7,000 drafts, but it's fine. If they want to validate the facts for both of us, they could tag a woman's brew on Instagram or on Facebook. You can email us at awomensbrewpodcast@gmail.com, or you can check us out at awomensbrewpod.beer, which is awomensbrewpod, pod.beer. Joe, if people want to know your real facts, because
my real facts,
I think mine are real. Yours may be slightly less real, but if they want to kind of know more about those, where can they talk to you?
Like, tell me if you want me to just write this up in a blog post, because I don't believe I've done one on my website, so I could probably do that. You can find me. I am Love Beer Learning on Instagram. I'm on Facebook as well, but you'll find me mostly on Instagram. You can also come to my website. Tell me if you'd like to see this as a blog post on there. That is lovebeerlearning.co.uk, or you can email me lovebeerlearning@gmail.com. Let's go finish these delightful beers on this
so nice
school night.
Cheers.